Excellencies, ministers, governors, distinguished guests, dear friends, good morning, welcome to Tivat, and welcome to Adria Future Summit. A region either waits for the terms of its future to be set for it, or it sets them itself. And this summit exists because we want to choose the second. A year ago from this stage, same stage, I said that the world felt uncertain beneath our feet. And that reads as an understatement now. Capital, AI, supply chains, trade have all been rewired at once, and what sounded like a warning last year is our operating environment this year. Meanwhile, in this room, what began in 2023 just as an event is growing into something more consequential. It is where the shape of the region for the current and the future generations is being discussed, negotiated, and increasingly built. Which is why what happens here is more than a conversation, and alongside the panels this week, partnerships will be forged, deals will be announced, and pipelines shortlisted. It is why the summit has a new name, Adria Future Summit. And behind that name is a deliberate choice. Many futures are possible for this region. Some are possibly drifted into, some imposed. But the version this summit wants to promote and encourage is the one more prosperous, more credible, and more self-authored. And that is why we convene everyone with a stake in that answer, from global capital and government leaderships to dozens of young people who are with us here as part of our Next Gen program, as full participants and not just as observers. Across the topics of these 3 days, there is one underlying currency, and that is trust. Trust in institutions, trust in rules, trust in commitments that will stand 10 years from now, and trust amongst people in this room, amongst policymakers, businessmen, investors, thinkers, because for any commitment to be realized, that trust will be essential. And this summit is 3 days where this trust is being built visibly and being built at scale. As Ognen said, this year we are moving from awareness to execution, and that is how our program has been designed. Alongside the summit, the Ministerial Energy Forum will take place. It is hosted by the Ministry of Energy and Mining of Montenegro and the Secretariat of Energy Community with the support of GIZ. And when it closes, ministers will get together with investors and with developers to talk about realizing political priorities that they've identified. So policy and deployment on the same day, in the same building. Change is also visible in who is in this room. This week, companies and institutions interested in this region are sending their principals. Eagle Hills, Exim Bank, Masdar, Monterock, Heritage Group, Google. This region is one of few productive interfaces between the European Union and the rest of the non-Western economy. And that is not a vulnerability. It is a role, and it is being priced accordingly. And change is visible in what is new. A governors panel with the central bank governors of Slovenia, Estonia, and Montenegro. Full AI and technology track with innovation sessions bringing founders and investors in the same room, and AI hackathon for young innovators. And the launch of our flagship podcast in partnership with London Politica. Finally, a word on Montenegro, which is our host. It is the country furthest along on European Union accession path, and it is presiding over Berlin process this year. This is also a year in which Montenegro celebrates 2 decades since its restoration of independence. And this is not a coincidence of dates. It is what leadership looks like when a small country takes its moment seriously. If I may speak personally for a moment, for those of us who grew up in this region in the last decades of the previous century, a room of this size and significance in Tivat gathered to talk about future of the region rather than where we have been is not a small thing. The gap between the region I grew up in and the one now is measure of how far we have come. And that was not inevitable. Progress was earned, one small act of courage and cooperation at a time. There is a line from Njegoš, the 19th century Montenegrin poet and Prince Bishop. It was written on this very coast 200 years ago. Neka bude što biti ne može. Let that be which cannot be. Every time this region has moved forward, it has done so by believing that line. And this summit is a very small, modern application of it. Everything you see around you is a result of months and months of work of very many people. My team at Sustineri partners and our partners and collaborators. They're doing quiet work. It never sees the stage. My thanks goes to all of them on the record and in public. And I have a list of thank yous that is just too long to be polite to read. But if you allow me one honest sentence, our thanks goes to government of Montenegro for strategic partnership over 4 years, to President of Montenegro for support, to our organizing partner, Porto, Montenegro, and to our host municipality of Tivat. And to our key partners, our platinum partners, UCB, MTEL, and Eagle Hills, and our gold partners, Unica Meter and Control, and Asmira. And to list, I must add many allies, media, who have been hugely helpful in getting our message across, and delegates whose names should be here on the stage with mine. Thank you all very, very much.